Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann and Associates. Call them now for a free consultation, 801-754-4240, or go to utah.law.
Welcome into a Deseret News Rewind special. My name is Dane Stewart, and there's been a young man we've been talking about here the last couple years on Deseret News Rewind, had an opportunity to do something special at a program that hasn't had a lot of success in recent years. Not only do that, but to leave his mark on the state. We've got a new record holder for career passing touchdowns out of Milford High School in Bryson Barnes. I had a chance to head down and meet Bryson and catch up and talk with him about his season, his career for the Milford Tigers.
Here with our new state record holder for career passing touchdowns, Bryson Barnes. And Bryson, wow, what a career you've had here at Milford. Multi-year starter, back-to-back state championships in 17 and 18, trying for a third in 19, but just talk to us a little bit about your career, your experience here at Milford, and what it's been like to come up through this program and to take this program to its first back-to-back state championships ever.
Well, it's pretty great because when I came in my freshman year, we weren't really the greatest team in the league. We were actually scheduled for 2 homecomings, and we won one out of them. Well, we won ours. We beat one team at their homecoming, then we lost the other one. So it just shows where we came from, where we started. Like I started my freshman year, and we made it to the semis, had a it was really well season. And we got further than we've gone in a lot of years, and then we just took it one step further my sophomore year, then repeated it again, and we're looking for another one.
Man, this year's a little bit of a different year. I mean, those years were 1A football, and now you're up to 2A with the reclassification. What has been the biggest adjustment for you, going from 1A to now playing a 2A schedule?
I think I've seen a lot more blitzes than I have in the 1A classification, but not too much difference, honestly.
We talk about your opportunity here at Milford. Pretty cool to have a young man that played 1A, 2A football now to be the state record holder in passing. I mean, that's just not really, the history of what you would expect. What are your thoughts? What do you feel like was kind of helpful for you in chasing that record, ultimately breaking that record? What has your development been like? What are some of the things that you felt like were key in your development as a quarterback?
Well, it was definitely credit to my O-line. I don't get anywhere. There's no record. There's nothing without them 5 guys in front of me. And then even with the 5 guys in front of me, you got them 4 or 5 guys on the other side on the other end of the ball catching it for me. And so it just comes down to that. Them 5 guys up front giving me time, and the other guys in the end catching my balls that I throw to them.
We talked about you guys playing a 2A schedule. Big build-up around that Milford Beaver game. You guys came up on the short end of that game. After that game, you sent out an interesting tweet. I think it was well prepared, well executed, well played, well executed, and I can respect that. Just curious, you don't tend to see that type of response from high school athletes after a loss. What is your approach? What made you send that tweet out? Just kind of a tip of the cap in a game that ultimately didn't go your way by a pretty large margin. I guess I'm just curious, what was kind of the onus behind that? Because that's just not a real common behavior that you see out of a high school senior.
Well, there was definitely a lot of hype behind the game, a lot of bickering between the parents, the students, and even the cheerleaders. And it was just kind of like a calm to our senses, because the game was a hype, and we flat out, we got beat. There's nothing about that. And they had a great game plan, and they executed it really well. They put a lot of pressure on me. They were getting through the line, and that's hard. That's just how it was. There was no excuses to that game, so that's where that came from.
I mean, obviously you got some big games ahead of you still to close out this year, but I'm guessing you guys probably wouldn't mind to see the Beavs again in the playoffs. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what we're expecting.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about just you as an individual. You announced a couple weeks ago, at least on Twitter, saw a post that you've received a preferred walk-on to Utah. First of all, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Talk about that opportunity. What excites you about that? And maybe give us, our viewers, a little bit of an idea of how your recruiting is going.
Well, it was almost surprising because, I don't really expect – I understand that from a small classification, I'm not going to get the same looks as a kid from a higher classification would, which I understand that. But to me, an athlete is an athlete. That's just how it is. That's plain and simple. The kid can play ball, a kid can play ball. And that's where I'm really grateful that the U gave me the opportunity to have a chance to even go.
How about the rest of your recruiting? How is that going for you?
It's going pretty good. I've kind of in contact with a couple coaches. Just kind of contact between me and the coach, but nothing too major yet.
Yeah. When you look back, I mean, you're a senior, multi-year starter. What has been your favorite experience of playing here at Milford? What's the thing that you look back at and you're like, oh, that particular game or that season or that experience, what's the thing that you look back on and take the most pride or gratification in?
Not technically really on the field. It's what happens off the field and like the preseason workouts when you're having them like team bonding kind of. You know, like I said, preseason workouts, the in-season workouts, even like when we're there after practice and before practice throwing routes. Those are the kind of stuff you look back on, not necessarily the games.
Man, spoken like a true leader, huh? I mean, you got your quarterback saying, it's the preparation that he loves and respects. Love it. Bryson, congratulations on a fantastic career. New state record holder in career passing touchdowns, Bryson Barnes.
Man, what an impressive career Bryson Barnes has had at Milford. And you know what? When we say we're going to get pizza, we're going to get pizza, right, Bryson? Our thanks to Milford for hooking us up with that, helping us out. But, man, what an impressive career he has had. We talked about Milford. This is a program that hasn't had a lot of success in recent years. The most wins they had in a single season prior to Bryson Barnes was 9 back in 1992. They won the state championship that year, their only state championship in football. Bryson, as a sophomore, led them to double-digit wins and a state championship. As a junior, double-digit wins and a state championship, both in 1A. And now in 2A, they had the longest consecutive winning streak in the state. The Milford Tigers did before losing to the Beavers midway through the season. That's a matchup they would love to see again, by the way. We might get it in that a 2A state playoff. But you look at what Bryson has done, and we're filming this before Week 10 games. He comes into Week 10 with 128 career passing touchdowns, 10 more than second place. And you look at some of the guys that he surpassed: Cameron Cooper, Austin Kafensis, Alex Carresso, Cooper Laga. Impressive prep athletes in the state of Utah. Bryson Barnes has now thrown for more career touchdowns than all of them. Bryson, congratulations. A young man that has an opportunity to continue to play after his senior year. Going to be fun to watch and see what Bryson can do. But he has put Milford on the map, trying to find his third consecutive state championship. And Bryson, hey, from all of us here at Deseret News Rewind, congratulations on setting the career passing touchdown mark, and best of luck to you throughout the rest of this year and in your future at the next level. Well, for all of us here at Deseret News Rewind, I want to thank you and congratulations, Bryson Barnes, our new career passing touchdown record holder here in the state of Utah out of Milford High.